What's up guys? My name is Ryan Shirley, and as the world is opening up, I think we're all excited to travel to some new destinations in the upcoming year. So here's my top 10 places to visit in 2022. If you didn't get to travel much this last year, I hope in 2022 you can safely travel to some new destinations in our beautiful world. Let's start this video off in the country of Nepal. Now nicknamed the roof of the world, Nepal is home to 8 mountains that are over 8,000 meters high, including the world's tallest peak, Mount Everest. If you do visit Nepal, you'll probably fly into the capital city of Kathmandu. It's a bustling place surrounded by the Himalayan mountains, famous for its temples and monasteries. Now one thing I want to do someday is hike to Everest Base Camp. You can start by flying into the sketchy Lukla airport and then take about 2 weeks to make the round trip journey. Base camp is up at an elevation of 17,600 feet, so it's freaking up there. Now another magical place in Nepal is called Makula Barun National Park. Now this place is surreal. It's located in eastern Nepal and it's the world's only protected area with an elevation more than 8,000 meters. It's a place where you'll find tropical rainforest to some of the world's highest peaks. It's also home to animal species such as the snow leopard and red pandas. I mean, Nepal is such an incredible country, and I hope you all can visit. While we're still in Asia, we're going to head over to Japan. Also known as the land of the rising sun, I have to say Japan is one of the places I want to visit most this year. From the snow-covered island of Sapporo to the Japanese Alps, this island country has so much to offer. When you get to Japan, you gotta visit Tokyo. It's the largest city in the world with a population over 37 million. Now from Tokyo, you can venture about an hour and a half outside the city to visit Mount Fuji. This active volcano is the tallest peak in Japan with a height of 12,388 feet. It's a perfect cone shape and acts as a sacred symbol for the country. Now a great place to view Mount Fuji is from Lake Kawaguchi. You can get a wonderful view of the volcano from there, and it's just an overall beautiful area. Nearby is the Cherito Pagoda, which offers one of the most insane views of this sacred volcano. Now afterwards, we're going to head over to Saudi Arabia. Located in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia was a rather mysterious country until it opened its borders to tourists in 2019. The largest and capital city of Saudi Arabia is Riyadh. It's a major financial hub and full of fascinating skyscrapers. Now one of the most interesting places in Saudi is called Al-Ula. It's located in the northwestern part of the country, and it's home to some fascinating rock formations and ancient tombs. The area was founded back in the 6th century and it's just full of so much history. Now one of my favorite tombs is called Qasr al-Farid, or the Lonely Castle. It was carved out of a random rock nearly 2,000 years ago, and it's believed to be unfinished, adding to its mystery. After Saudi Arabia, we're going to visit South Africa. Now I've been obsessed with Africa lately, and I think South Africa is one of the best places to visit on the continent. Now South Africa has the incredible coastline of Cape Town to areas where you can see some of Africa's wildlife. One area in particular that I find fascinating is called Drakensberg. It's the set of mountains on the South Africa-Lesotho border, and it's home to some insane scenery. One of the craziest places is Tugela Falls with a height of 3,000 feet. It's the second tallest waterfall in the world. The area that it's located in is called the amphitheater, and it's just this bowl of massive cliffs that descends down to the gorge below. I mean, what a wild place. Another destination to visit in Africa is the island of Réunion. Now located in the Indian Ocean, Réunion is a French territory with some of the most incredible terrain. It's a volcanic island and it totally reminds me of Hawaii. Now one of the most striking features of the island is the volcano called Piton de la Fournaise. It's currently one of the most active volcanoes in the world, with its most recent eruption in December of 2020. Another one of my favorite places on the island is the Cirque de MAFATE. It's this lush amphitheater that was formed from a collapsed volcano. The ridges are just insane there. Réunion is full of waterfalls, and one of my favorites is the Cascade Blanche, which descends over 500 meters. Now after, we're going to head over to the country of New Zealand. This last year I was hoping it would open its borders for travel, but I'm very hopeful for 2022. I think it will be opened in April of this upcoming year. Now, New Zealand is a land full of mountains like Switzerland, fjords like Norway, and landscapes straight out of Lord of the Rings. Now, New Zealand is made up of over 700 islands, but the two major ones are the North and the South Islands. If you're down for some adventure and crazy landscapes, I'd say the South Island is where it's at. It's home to the Southern Alps, where Mount Cook is located. It's the tallest mountain in New Zealand, and it stands at over 12,218 feet high. Another incredible spot is the Milford Sound, described as the 8th wonder of the world. The Milford Sound is a fjord that was carved out by glaciers during the Ice Age. It's one of the wettest places in the world, and the whole area is full of rainforests and magical waterfalls. After, we're going to Italy to visit the Amalfi Coast. I have to say this is one of the most beautiful places, not just in Italy, but all of Europe. The Amalfi Coast is located in southern Italy, about a 3-hour drive from Rome. I was here this summer and it was a surreal experience. Now, one of the most well-known towns on the Amalfi Coast is Positano. I mean, when you see this place in real life, you won't believe it. It's hard to beat the backdrop of the mountains filled with colorful villas against the Mediterranean Sea filled with boats and yachts. If you can handle the skinny roads, I definitely recommend just driving along the whole entire coastline and seeing all the beautiful towns. One notable place on the coast is the city of ATRANI. It's one of the best preserved medieval towns on the Amalfi Coast. One of my personal favorite places on the Amalfi Coast is Fiordo di Furore. This is easily one of the most scenic beaches I've ever been to. It's located in this little fjord complemented with an incredible arch bridge. I mean, it's a paradise for cliff jumping. There's so many places you can jump from. The best time to visit the Amalfi Coast would be around May or early fall. You'll be able to miss the summer crowds while still enjoying the warm Mediterranean weather. While you're on the Amalfi Coast, you might as well venture off to the island of Capri. It's just a short boat ride away, and it's one of Italy's most beautiful islands. After Italy, we're going to head up to the Swiss Alps. Now, I have to say the Swiss Alps are one of my all-time favorite regions in the world. There's just something magical about the massive mountains, incredible landscapes, and history that exists there. I think Switzerland is the most well-run country, and you'll know what I mean when you visit. I mean, everything is just perfect. Now, one of my favorite places in the Swiss Alps is Zermatt. It's this enchanting village that is overlooked by the daunting Matterhorn mountain. Zermatt is just a great place to walk around and explore, and it's also ideal for so many incredible hikes. You can take up the Gornergrat Railway to get some incredible views of the Matterhorn and surrounding mountains. Now, another one of my favorite places in the Swiss Alps is Grindelwald. It's this idyllic village that is dwarfed over by the massive Mount Eiger. And when you visit the Swiss Alps, it's just hard to believe these places actually exist. After Switzerland, we're going to visit the country of Norway. Now, this is another destination I really wanted to visit in 2021, but sadly it was closed for most of the year. But thankfully it is opening up its borders. Now, Norway is easily one of the most beautiful countries in the world. It's home to incredible fjords and jagged mountains. One of my favorite regions is northern Norway. It's home to the impressive Lofoten Islands. Even though these islands are located in the Arctic Circle, they stay relatively warm and almost feel like a tropical island with its pristine beaches and clear water. While you're there, you can play soccer on the field in Henningsvar or drive down to the fishing village of Rhine. Now, another one of my favorite places is Senja. It's located north of Lofoten, and it's home to one of the most impressive sea mountains I've ever seen. If you come in the fall after September, you might get lucky and see the Aurora Borealis. After, we're going to head over to Portugal's archipelago of the Azores. Now, located in the middle of the Atlantic, the Azores are a group of 9 islands like none other. They remind me of a hybrid of New Zealand and Hawaii with its rolling pastures and green scenery. I mean, it's basically a real-life Teletubby land. Now, the largest island on the Azores is São Miguel. One of the most stunning places on the island is the Lago das Sete Cidades. Now, it's a twin lake situated in the crater of a volcano. Now, just above it is the Santiago Lake that's also incredible. Now, another peculiar place on the Azores is the islet of Vila Franca. It's this tiny triangle-shaped island with almost a perfect circle in the middle. You can take a tour boat out there, or if you're brave enough, you can kayak to this crater island and swim in that little circle. Anyways, the Azores sure are a little piece of heaven in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Well, that is it for my 2022 travel guide. Let me know in the comments below where you want to visit most this year. I also started a relaxation channel where I post hour-long films with calming music to bring some peace and nature in your life. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.